Right, management. I read through some of the rules provided by the Cyclopedia, especially on combat. Mostly it's something that we already knew, but there's a couple of things that were of interest about ability stacking, things like that. There's basically four sources of abilities that the game recognizes, or rather differentiates. For example, active abilities would be one. This would be like spells. So, why is that's important because it means every spell source that provides some kind of bonus to us, the same source. Let's say, for example, reflection bonus. Only the highest will be applied. So you can't stack those because they come from the same source. But there are four different sources. One is active abilities, spells, every kind of thing like that. Then there are passive abilities. Then there are weapon abilities. And then there are item abilities. Uh, I would have never guessed that weapons are somehow differentiated from other items. I don't understand why, but it's good to know. So those four different sources can provide a bonus to the same place. And from each source only the highest will apply, and with debuffs only the lowest will apply, or the most severe. Was there anything else of interest? I don't actually recall. I think there were, but that's more or less what the interesting stuff was. There's also some kind of a replacement system with the different type of afflictions. Frightening, for example, it's basically just a less severe form of terrifying. So if you get a terrifying effect on you, a previous frightening will be overridden. It will be the stacking will remove it. There's some kind of a different system with other abilities, like petrification is stronger than paralysis, which is stronger than stun, stuck, or prone, and so forth. So the stacking system, I suppose, is the most important thing to come away here with. Also, the damage reduction system. It does not. It will never remove all damage. That's not how it works. There's I think there was a minimum of 20% of the original damage will go through, no matter how high the damage resistance on the target is. So just because you block a huge amount of piercing damage, you will never block all piercing damage. So you can have a creature that is immune to the piercing damage, but damage reduction is not the mechanic that allows that to happen. Right. Damage will never be reduced below 20% of the initial incoming amount. When this minimum value is hit, you will see a min message in the combat log on the attack line. But it's good to know. So even if we use a very poor weapon against target, we can still damage it. It also changes my opinion about armor somewhat, because we don't have to try to reduce 100% of some kind of incoming damage. We just need to get most of it out of the way. It also, I suppose, gives more better of idea what we can do with the armor. So what its role is. If we really want to be protected, a deflection is a better way to do it. At the same time, there's no way we can get deflection on this type of guy high enough with the equipment we have that the damage reduction would be sort of irrelevant. So something to keep in mind, I suppose. But yeah, inventory management. We should have a huge amount of equipment in stash too. Right, we probably will not be equipping non-magical or normal items anymore. Heavy plate armor might be an exception. I mean, if you already have recovery penalty of minus 50%, it doesn't seem like it matters anymore. You might as well use the heaviest armor you can find. So I want to separate the specialty equipment from the rest, just so I can have a good look at it. These are uniques, right? We probably want a mixture of things, based on damage types and the like. But if 20% of the initial damage can always go through, having some kind of a large damage from the attack isn't irrelevant. Yeah, that's the specialty gear. Right. We might as well use these flintlock firearms. 20% of damage from something like this is closer to 10 points, even in the worst case scenario, and that requires the enemy to have a huge piercing damage reduction. And if we spread this around, we might be able to basically at least initiate certain fights by firing on that, then change into something else. There should be some kind of weapon switch delays. Not sure how it's visible. Similar to if I switch a grimoire to another grimoire, I cannot just start casting immediately. There's some kind of delay between that. Arbalest. Right. I'm mainly thinking about the Drake we died earlier. I think it was somewhat vulnerable to piercing, something like damage resistance of about 12 maybe. And if we could root it down or paralyze it after the trash opponents have been taken care of, something like this might be the best way to take it down. Not spread around all over it, maybe use the skeletons to keep it entertained, but keep the main characters outside the fire breath this range, so we wouldn't be killed quite so easily. I still don't understand what the helms do. Yep. Type of helmet an individual wears often comes down to personal preference. That's one thing, but I don't. It doesn't seem to do anything. Right. Okay. Choices. We are gonna need some empty inventory space. Lockpicks don't need to be here. Probably wolf hides neither. What the fuck are these? Dart traps, arrow traps, noxious burst traps, corrode damage versus fortitude, accuracy minus 20. That's terrible. Never seen any information about traps. How do these even work? We should give it a try. It doesn't matter. Some of these traps are terrible, so we can throw them all away. I just want to understand how we can use them. Arrow trap. And we already have arrow traps. No, dart traps. Why don't these stack? They only go in the stacks of 3. Bounding missile trap. Noxious burst. Right. Right. This has some kind of a weapon skill. Night weapons. I don't want to be too tied to that. I'll make my choices with the weapons. We can always respec the character. I'm still not sure to what extent, but that's something I do want to test too. But we'll test that after we've looked through the equipment. Weapon focused knife. +6 accuracy to battle axe, sword, Morningstar, crossbow. Weapons we probably aren't really going to use because we don't have them in any good quality, so this doesn't really apply. Right. Currently we have a mace, a normal mace. It's not bad, but it's not a Morningstar either, so we're not getting bonuses. It has some minor damage resistance bypass, but since I now know that I'll always do at least some damage, the damage resistance, while nice, is not something that we absolutely have to have. Also, enchantment. When we add it, we can add a slaying property, which would require ogre blood. Kith. Human, Amawa, Orlan, godlike dwarf, elf. So every non-monster. Secondary damage. Elemental damage can be added. Quality. More accurate, more damaging. +4 accuracy. Okay, yeah. Drake Talon. Topaz. Fine weapon, accuracy and damage. It's the same bones basically, except it's in a single enchantment. You can only add one, right? Vithrak Brain. Ruby. Adamith's Words. Sapphire. Sky Dragon Eye. Are you shitting me? 4,500. So +12 accuracy and a 45% damage. Level 12. Sky dragons are said to be almost supernatural vision, able to pick out the tiniest prey from. Okay, so we are fighting against dragons at some point. Yeah, a fine property added to weapon. Maybe elemental damage. Maybe a slaying property. There's a limit to the enchantment cost, so... Ah, yeah, that's what it is. I was wondering what the fuck is that, the animal shape or whatever that is. But it's the power the weapon can have in total. That makes sense. So if you make a superb slaying weapon, you can only add 1 secondary damage bonus to it anymore, not additional slaying properties or anything. Right, okay. What do you have? Resolve and Perception. Perception does what? Accuracy, that sort of thing. Resolve might... yeah, the will and deflection defenses. Yeah, this is a fine help. Fine Brigandine. Yeah, it's fine. +2 damage reduction. Not sure how you can enchant armors. Burn proof, corrode proof. Okay, this is defenses. +3 damage reduction against an elemental something. Attribute bonuses. We don't have the stuff. Jewelry. We're basically missing jewelry. Rubies, sapphires, diamonds, and we could add these stronger enchantments. And quality. We could do a fine weapon. Fine Brigandine already has enchantment. Fine. No shit. +6 damage reduction. Right. Okay. There's nothing particularly wrong about this. It's just weak against corrode, but it's as fine of an armor as I've seen so far. Minor ring of protection, fortitude, reflex, and will. These aren't bad things. I don't mind this guy having them either, simply because he's the tank. So if he gets disabled somehow, we're so fucked. At the same time, I'm not super keen on him having it either. +5 deflection. Are we getting a deflection bonus from something already? We have to keep in mind that only the most powerful thing will be applied. Reflex and healing received. I'm taking these items that I'm sort of unsure of away from him. +5 deflection. So see, he has multiple fire deflection items. Only the highest will apply, right? So wasted items. Damage reduction piercing, damage reduction slash. Constitution bonus. Right. Okay. Sword. Fine one-handed sword will have an accuracy bonus, and since it's a sword, we'll have an additional accuracy bonus. Piercing and slashing damage. It's not amazing, it's certainly average speed only. But if we're gonna keep using this, we might as well add some kind of a secondary damage to it, maybe a slaying property. Beasts seem to be very troublesome and they're all over the place. It wouldn't be all that expensive to add the enchantment either. I have a lot of the resources, it's fairly cheap. Maybe some shocking damage. Only have one primal wind. Okay, do we have any other swords? Stilettos. Quarterstaff, great sword, mace, hunting bow, fine breastplate. Would this be better than a fine brigandine? Damage resistance 12. 10. But protects from burning and freezing. Protects from corrode. We probably should have multiples anyway. Yeah, we're definitely gonna hold on to a breastplate. Fine shield. Deflection bonus, accuracy negatives, +4 extra deflection. Already fine enchantment on it. I don't like the negative on the attack. It's a fine shield, and accuracy isn't always the most important thing. Okay. Unique greatsword, unique rapier. +5 accuracy, +1 enemies engaged, accurate, +12 accuracy, +15% damage. Enchantments 5 out of 12. A nobleman's weapon. And you can add the typical abilities. Right, Ulzeri has accurate 3, which cannot be achieved through normal enchantment. As guarding, measured restraint. It's a good rapier. I'm definitely holding on to it. We have a one-handed sword unique. Stiletto unique. Flail unique. 30% of grace is converted to hits, so that means just more damage. +20% damage restores at endurance, accuracy and damage. Right, What is this? This is the anti-spirit weapon, yeah, but it also has -3 wheel, which I don't like. And it's only good against spirits. We might as well hold on to it, but I'm not particularly keen on using it. Club. Club is also very fast. I think these are thievery weapons. Individual damage doesn't seem all that impressive, but they're fast attack weapons. Hmm. Yes, that's it. Leather armor. Plus 10% ability area of effect. Good against slashing and corrode. And they have harder door. Grants bashing. Crush damage. Accuracy versus deflection. Bashing 2. It seems to be an ability that you can add to a shield, but clearly I can't add to a shield. Probably you can get the recipes. So this is, I mean, recipes you can buy or find. Bashing seems to be one of them. There was a star in the next to the unique item. I think it was the rapier. Right. So I would guess that's something that I can't get through a normal enchantment. Right. Small shield. Oh, accuracy goes up quite a bit if we keep this up. Okay. I'll need a secondary weapon for him, and I'm going to add a good stout shield to this. Fine large shield. Or larder door. I guess we have basically a bash attack we're using. So we drastically increase our defenses at the same time we added another attack, so it defends and attacks at the same time. Right. But the accuracy is very low, too low. That's why I want something secondary. Maybe it's a unique two-handed sword. Justice. Slashing damage, piercing damage, crushing damage. Accuracy +4, damage +15%. At a slow attack speed, but uh, I'm more interested in the accuracy with this one. And it's a unique weapon, so I want to sort of hold on to it anyway. Now, accuracy is only 49. About a sword, 63. How about a stiletto, 57. Damage restores as endurance damage 5 has. Maybe the rapier. Accuracy bonus, boss enemies engage, piercing damage. No, this weapon can be anything. Not two-handed though. I'm doing it for the accuracy, so it has to have more accuracy. Maybe I could just enchant a normal sword. Flail. One-handed. This does a lot of extra damage. Damage restored as endurance too. Right, 61. Why is it 61? Give me another fine weapon. Single-handed. Accuracy +5. Right. 74. Okay. I'm still thinking of taking the Gaunt Share Flail first, because it does much more damage. It has bonuses to damage, bonuses to the hit quality, so... And Crushing tends to be better against a lot of those anyway. But this has the highest accuracy, so I think I'll hold on to this. Unique weapons, I'm not getting rid of them. So, he's starting to look a little bit better. We need to find him new rings and mech items. We might as well give him the protection ring. At least he's not going to be stacking penalties on those. So Fortitude, Reflex, and Will saves. Right. Reflex and Will is his weak points anyway. Could use another ring, could use a cloak. Fortitude, Reflex, Will, Cloak. Right. Anything else? Plus 25 percent healing received. We might as well take that. Unless someone else has something to donate. Plus 9 will, that might be a worthwhile thing. It's actually plus it's actually plus 4 will because of the ring. Plus 15 max endurance, that would be a thing. Fortitude, reflex saves. Plus 15 defense when disengaging, so you could move around the battlefield. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because he can get flanking extra damage. This should probably be given to the secondary hero or secondary fighter. You can take the extra health. Where's your endurance? Right, 148. He's the one who's supposed to take the aggression. Kana will be turned into some kind of a melee guy, but he needs the ability to move around without getting attacks of opportunity from the opponents too much. So he can have a lower endurance and be still fine. He has plus 1 intellect turban. Not sure if I should use this brigandine. This is just a normal brigandine after all. So maybe a fine breastplate. What else can we give him? Extra defenses, definitely. Plus 5 deflection. Right, it still says 42, but at least it's a little bit better. Anything else? Plus 2 mechanics and dexterity. Yeah, you can keep that. Combusting wounds. What exactly does this do? Full area of effect. 5 burn damage over time when hit for 20 seconds. I'm not really using this all that much. But it's fine with this guy. He's usually fairly close to fighting anyway. He has hand and key unique medium armor. Good against burns and freeze. Defense against confused, charmed, and dominated attacks. This could be good against some kind of a charm using enemy. Definitely holding on to this. Taking away the helm. There's nothing particularly wrong about the helm, I just want to see if we can do better. I want these guys to have regeneration potions. Endurance restoration potions. What is this? Minor recovery. -4 duration of active hostile effects. -20% duration of hostile effects. Whatever. Potion of Fleet Feet. +3 movement spawn. Bonus. Not sure if this is useful really. Saber. Rice. Right. Okay. You could use a cape. +9 to will. +67 will. 67 will in total. Why not? The cleric has the abilities to at least temporarily disable disabling debuffs, so it might be good to have strong will on him anyway, just to make sure that we can function and he can counter any kind of special effects. His current weapon is Duran's Star. Slow, crushing and burn damage. I don't know if this is a good... it has the burn damage, that's the interesting thing about it, but that's the only interesting thing about it. No, it has weapon reach too. He's not that durable, he's easy to hit, so long weapon reach means I can still use him in a melee role if others are tanking, and he's fairly safe from counterattacks. So I don't dislike that. We could use a range attack too, but I'm not too impressed by the rods in general. Usually, if it's a tough fight, we'll have to cast spells anyway. Are there longer reach weapons? Are there? 90 to 27. 16 to 22. Can we improve upon this? Yes. We should improve upon this. It's just a fine stick. So if we add the fine property to this is just the same. At the same time, it costs quite a lot, and this is not our primary damage dealer anyway. Stilettos. Do you have any weapon skills? No. Inspiring Radiance spares Fortitude. Okay, moving on. You. You have the Arquebus. Very powerful, extremely slow. Fine Estoc. 5 damage resistance bypass, 19 to 27 piercing damage. We can probably enchant it further. It's a solid weapon. I'm thinking of adding extra range damage to some of these. Basically add these rifle type weapons. You don't need to be a... What the fuck am I taking? You have a fine wand, then pistol. Does a lot more damage. Veil piercing. Same thing with you. What the fuck am I doing? I have a range weapon for this too. I mean, we can always just keep the sword in the inventory. Have extra accuracy for crossbow. Not sure how that matters. It still doesn't do all that much damage. We could give up Fine Arbalest instead. Very slow, but more damage. Criticals can inflict prone. Minus 0.3 to critical damage multiplier. That reminds me, the critical hits give 50% more damage. Grazing hits do 50% less damage. I think. The problem is the problem is this. Exactly this, actually. There's a minus 0.3 to critical damage multiplier. Is it 50% less damage, or is it 0.5 to critical minus 0.5 to critical damage multiplier on a grazing hit, or things like that? So I'm not sure how these calculations work. I'd have to look at the math when we get critical and grazing hits. I don't think I'll stick with the crossbow. We just need a range weapon in one of the sets, so if we basically get someone stuck, we can do something about it. You have a lot of weapon sets. I'll add a more defensive set to him. 62 defense, yeah, that's respectable. Maybe something that will allow you to recover endurance. Damage resistance bypass. Restores endurance, fast attack speed. 19 to 27. 19 to 27 does all types of damage. More accuracy and damage. More accuracy and damage. I think I'll keep the S-Talk, although it's slow. This is slow too. Right. Almost as good of a defense as the pure fighter. Or much lower defense and extra damage. I want to add another slow range weapon, or maybe an alternative two-handed. This does piercing damage. This does pierce, slash, and crush. You can't really compare with that though. The damage resist of 5 is what makes this weapon. And it wouldn't hurt for someone to have this in their disposal. Piercing and slashing. Piercing. Right. Don't look bad. 15% of hits converted to criticals for 60 seconds. Yeah, this is actually good for Kana, because he's not the primary tank. But if we... oh, no. If we have the opportunity to dish out damage, shouldn't we go with 2 weapons instead? This might have more accuracy, but we are looking at a situation where we would just want to dish out damage. Maybe these stilettos would be the things to use. They bypass some damage resistance and have X bonus to damage. Some damage is restored as health. We don't have enough unique weapons, but fine stilettos, accuracy and damage bonuses. Damage resistance bypass. Right. Maybe a club. It would have a different damage type. Fine dagger would have more accuracy. Same with the fine club. I mean, it literally has independent accuracy bonus. This bypasses damage. I don't particularly care about the damage restored. This is not that type of a weapon. We're getting quite a bit of accuracy through this. Yeah. So we would have fairly accurate attacks, fairly fast attacks, of crushing and slashing type. The damage individually might not seem much, but it would come from a flanking position. So it's again much more accurate. But what I'm wondering is it better to go for as much damage as possible? These would have damage resistance piercing. Just 3 points. But since the damage is already low, the 3 points damage resistant bypass could be relatively large damage bonus. I think I'll take the stilettos. Because if we get into a flanking position, we're gonna hit constantly anyway, and these are fast weapons, right? So different type of weaponry for different types of situations. You might as well start with the defensive setup, switch as situation requires. Alright, 3 out of 5 done. Not sure if these guys should have the deflection rings. I mean, 24 or 29, it's not gonna make a difference. It sucks already. Pole axe. Maybe I should have taken a pole axe. Whatever. Saving throws. Always useful. Plus 2 dexterity. Yeah, it's useful, but I think this might be better for someone who actually has to keep the enemy on a regular basis. You have deflection bonus, which is fine. He'll have high accuracy anyway. Is he getting a dexterity bonus from somewhere? No. What's dexterity do anyway? Come on, show me the goddamn dexterity. Action speed! Okay, right, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's okay with this. Get rid of the helmets. We need to go through the grimoires with these. You have Berethian priest's robes, right. How about now? So you basically have nothing. So do you. Food of nothings. Wizard's Double was the good defensive spell. We're not really using some of these. Especially things like the full dazzling lights. -10 to will though. That's well, the dazing is not particularly interesting, but the -10 to will on the other hand, yes. Because we can sort of try to pile up, say, similar type of effects. Daze probably it's a save versus reflex. We have a we want as many shit. The minuses on saving throws are from active abilities though, so they don't stack. But That's not the important part. What we want is the area of effect, not area of effect, but the duration to keep going. So we need multiple sources of those, so we're not tied on some single level or type of spell to maintain these. So that's not so bad. Sunless Grasp. I don't care for this. We get rid of it. I don't particularly care for this either, but at least it's area of effect, so we could have some uses for it. These are all fine, these are all fine. If anything, you could use more spells. Right. Reflex, healing received. Anyone need this? Really? I think I'd rather take the saving throw bonuses. Everyone has to find one. Find one, but it's nothing special. We don't want these recovery speed negatives on the caster, so it's either robes or nothing. I suppose we should have something. Yeah, the priest robes only have a recovery speed negative of -5%, so it's not bad. Fine robes will have larger negatives. And we can enchant these. They have some damage resistance. They're terrible, but at least it's something. Do we have robes here? No, not really. We have clothing, I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, Herwoodian clothing. Two damage reduction. Are these enchanted? No. They have a natural damage reduction, but also recovery speed negative. But 5% is nothing. It still might be unnecessary, but I'm okay with these. Right. Do we want hoods or not? It'll look silly. Reflex +5 healing bonus. This is not really useful. We're getting reflex bonuses from these, so we are not gonna get that. Right. But we're not throwing away anything unique, that's for certain. Some items should be maybe kept in the inventory. No one has room for an extra deflection ring. Might as well use it. It's not particularly useful, but why not? Better than nothing. Right. Cold torches, a lot of traps, some potions. We have a zombie cat. What the fuck happened to the spider? You equip the spider. I don't understand how pets work. There's nothing about pets anywhere. Tiny spider, zombie cat. I'll start using the trick, see what happens. I should put some scrolls in the quick inventory. Has 50% duration for hostile effects for 20 seconds. Hubble for 5.4 seconds. What is Hubble? Dexterity reduced, movement reduced, reflex saves reduced. Nature's Mark. Minus 10 deflection, minus 10 reflex for 40 seconds. I don't think I've used these ray spells even once. I really should. The damage should be massive. It's over 100 to 170 points of damage, basically. Potential damage, at least. It's more of a, how does this work? Can I just cast it and then run around the battlefield, beaming the other creatures? If I can do that, it's potentially a huge amount of damage I can inflict. Big problem, especially in Baldur's Gate, I think. Maybe not Baldur's Gate, but I think one of the D&D games has that once you start casting it, you sort of have to wait, standing still until it runs out, which makes that terrible, terrible thing to use. Plus 15 accuracy for 10 seconds. Might not be a bad for a mage either. Say... What? We'll try to learn as many spells as we can. I'll be the primary learner. After that, we can give the extra to our psychic. How much money do we still have? 4,700, and we'll probably get a lot of money by selling the excess crap we have. I don't particularly care what the spells do. We'll get everything we can. But you, maybe not. Bow area of effect, piercing damage, and hobbling. Sounds useful. Area of effect, freeze damage, blinded. That's also useful. How long does this last? 19.5 seconds, that's quite a long time. How does this get applied multiple times to the target stays in the area? I don't know. Wizard level paralyzes targets. Area of effect sickening. So if we can get through the fortitude, that's long-term paralysis. No, I don't want to erase it. Drains corrode damage as endurance. Again, very powerful if you can get through the endurance. I've noticed that all powerful monsters seem to have very strong endurance, at least so far. So good luck with that. Now, this costs us quite a bit, though. Still, mage without good selection of spells is sort of worthless, so I think it's a good investment. It does mean Aloth is going to be a permanent member of this group no matter what happens. I'm not wasting this much money on something and then just throwing it away later. So, Mirwald's Grimoire. We're gonna split these grimoires. He has his own. We already know all these spells, so it's okay to remove them. What we want is multiple grimoires, I guess. So we'll have our basic selection of spells. But yeah, I'm removing everything because I want to rethink the spells what we're using. Um, we certainly are not gonna have funds to enchant anything, and that's fine. The upgrading of the keep is a higher priority. We're doing just fine with the equipment we have. Actually, I want to improve upon things, but uh, that's not too important right now. So, might as well take all of these. No reason not to. Here. Curse of Blackened Sight. This is a great one. Foe area of effect blinding. Very good. And blind screws over things quite a bit. Accuracy reduced by 25. Perception reduced by 4, movement reduced, reflex and deflection reduced by 20. Very, very good stuff. Miasma of dual mindedness. Perception negative, intellect negative, resolve negative. Against will. So this would be more of a get this working on a guy, then try to do something else. Resolve, perception, intellect. Okay, resolve is what? It's will saves. Perception is accuracy and reflex. Right? Intellect is will defense again. So if we could get this to hit someone, its will basically plummet. This plummets defense and reflex and accuracy. But we do need damage too, so maybe protection against elements. Only affects the caster. And the casters are in fairly well protected, I suppose. Binding Web would be an area of effect against Fortitude. Stock effect. Reflex deflection reduced by 20. Accuracy reduced by 5. It's a fine ability. I think it's actually prones them, or stocks them. The oil slick prones them. That's better, in a way. I think it basically interrupts what you're doing. Getting by stuck or rooted doesn't. Okay. Petite Caress. Against Fortitude. I don't want against Fortitude attacks, if I can help it here. Maybe 1, but certainly not 2. Corroding damage over time. Ranged and full area of effect, corroding damage. Yeah, I think I'd rather take that. Usually that's the big problem. Alternatively, paralysis. Sicken. What does Sicken do? Fortitude and will are reduced by 10. That's not bad. Dexterity set to 0. Reflex and deflection are reduced by 40. Override stun, stuck, and prone. That's a powerful effect. I'll take that. But I need something other than Fortitude. Has to be Rolling Flame against Reflex burn damage. Creates a rebounding ball of fire inflicting burn damage upon anyone in his path. It's fairly tough to use in certain situations though. Maybe the Necrotic Lance would be better. That's a lot of corrode damage, and if we can bring the saving throws against Fortitude down, that's quite powerful. At the same time, I think I prefer a mix for the base Grimoire. Maybe I can make more specialized ones. But okay, Casting Light had the will negative, I'll take that. What's the range on this? 10. Strong interruptibility. Crushing damage versus deflection. This is great against spellcasters. I like that. Chill Fog against Fortitude. This is deflection, reflex. Ghost Blades, piercing damage, hobbled. Dexterity reduced, movement reduced, reflex reduced by 20. It's a cone attack. I'll take out like Chill Fog. It does have a chance to blind too. And we could probably try to stack some of these spells. We don't have all the spells we can take. I would need to put them here. I think we don't have the Slicken. Ray of Flame, Mirrored Image. Arduous Delay of Motion. We are poor after this, very very poor. $261 copper pieces. Yeah, we're not enchanting shit. We're trying to sell as much as possible so we can continue upgrading the fortress. Right, we're doing this. I think I'd rather take Slicken. It does prone. Dexterity reduce, reflex and deflection reduce. No, that's not the important part. Prone characters can't take action. That's a good part. Right. And we might as well take a fourth ability here. Can you rename these? The extra grimoires don't make a lot of sense on the higher levels. We don't have enough spells anyway. I'm thinking of putting some kind of defensive spells on another. What Ray of Fire? I certainly want to test this. Oh, doesn't cost anything to put these on. Ray of Fire, Foreign Flame. We do have a lot of flame attacks, so maybe we should take extra flame damage at least on this guy. Something like that. Parasitic Staff. What exactly does this do? Good accuracy, good damage. Damage restores endurance. Very good damage on the staff itself. High value staff. What's the duration on this thing? A minute. Very good weapon. Well, whatever. Osraya's Grimoire. So this is backup Grimoire. How do you use these? I'm putting it in the quick slot just to because it can be put there. This is an empty one. Right, you. Want the slick, we want disruption abilities, want the chill fog, so we can basically try to stack the area of effects, see what comes out of that. Parasitic Staff is a very good weapon. We have to go and do physical damage. It's a nice thing. With the dazzling nice. Yeah, we're sort of copying the spell list, and I'm not sure if that's a great idea. Piercing damage Hubble. Plus 20 defense when disengaging, but this also only affect the caster. How about Wizard's Double? Might survive a situation where we're gonna attack through physical. And there's no duration on this. It just goes away when probably because when the fighting ends or you get hit. We have 4 third level spells here. Take the Ray of Fire. Miasma of Dull-Mindedness. Not sure if someone already has this, and it doesn't look that amazing. Web could be nice. Now damage. We already have damage. The corrosive siphon has proven to be useful. Whole area of effect, corrosion damage. Maybe the paralyzing fortitude attack. Probably won't work on all that many creatures, but we can hope. I'm not sure if I want to make a secondary. Might as well. Right. What was it? That's the empty one. And as far as I'm concerned, we're done. Except we're so piss poor, we need to go and sell some more stuff. Anything happening in here? We should be constructing something. I think we're doing barracks. 1 day, 24 hours. Right. It'll probably take about that much to go to the city to sell stuff and come back. Still, management done. It took a long time, but at the same time, I think we're fundamentally in a much better place now. I understand the mechanics better. I think I know more what I'm doing. We need to switch you guys
Following
around.
your lead. Hey.
Right.
Following your lead. Hey.
One whole day. Like, by the time we come back, we need to have the money to start another upgrade, or hire guards, or something.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, well, okay. Shit. I'll actually end things here. Reason being, we did something in the... We solved the Roderick thing, so there's at least a probability that some kind of a change has happened here. And I don't want to include anything non-management stuff here, so put an end to this here. Next time, do the sales thing, go back to the fortress maybe see from there.